Are you at your wits' end trying to get your employees or team members to follow directions and stop making the same mistakes over and over again? If so, keep listening. Yes, mistakes do occur. It's part of life. However, it can be incredibly frustrating when an employee's error has a significant negative effect on your business. If you are in a leadership position, you must deal with mistakes in a proper, swift, and effective manner. You can do one of two things: get angry and throw a temper tantrum, or handle it professionally. We recommend you keep your emotions in check and support your team member to overcome their problem of making the same mistakes. Let's explore some useful tactics that will help you keep your cool and at the same time empower your employees to make shifts in what often results from poor communication habits and personal biases. Number 1, clearly communicate your instructions, tasks, and expectations. Effective leaders and managers make it clear to their teams what is expected of them. They give regular and explicit instructions on how to fulfill responsibilities. This decreases confusion and also ignites individual and group motivation. Some other benefits of clearly communicating your expectations include: it boosts clarity about the assignment, its time frame, and reduces ambiguity, increases trust and proactivity, supports autonomy and self-responsibility, minimizes frustration for everyone, increases employee engagement, and who knows, your team may even learn to like you. Number 2, get buy-in, clarification, and teach others how to ask quality questions. As a leader, it is crucial for you to get your team support from the start. This guarantees that your team will work toward finding the best solution for the job at hand. Ask them to clarify back to you what your instructions or expectations are. Here is how to make sure your team understands what is expected of them. Request they verbalize or draw on paper your instructions. Use productivity tracking tools to check on the progress of individuals and teams. Ask your employees to report back to you at certain time frames and rectify quickly if they get off track or do not understand the intended outcome. When an employee comes to you with a problem, avoid offering a quick fix and don't be condescending. Instead, ask them a series of questions to guide them towards the solution. Although no one likes to be micromanaged, most employees value the assurance that they are on the right track. Train your employees to be direct, to ask questions, and to provide solutions. You'd be surprised at how much time and money a poorly articulated sentence can cost. At the same time, how can you expect your employee to ask you a question when they anticipate that you're going to dismiss or yell at them? Make a commitment to work on the way you listen and respond. Provide coaching and professional development to help reduce those mistakes, which will also help the employee see any patterns in their behavior and how they can address them. Decide how many strikes you're okay with, and in order to maintain performance standards and overall morale, let people go once they exceed that number, and keep records along the way so if your interventions don't work, you have the facts at hand and won't be acting unfairly. Number 3, give deadlines. Deadlines exist for a reason, as they ensure that work is completed on time and that everyone is aware of what needs to be done and by when. Unfortunately, many employees do not take deadlines seriously, which can cause problems for the whole team. And some leaders forget to give specific deadline dates up front. When setting a deadline, be sure to include what is the intended outcome, what relevant information is needed, such as what needs to be done, by when, and who is responsible for each task to avoid confusion. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. It also happens to be an effective way to get your team to respect deadlines. By honoring your own deadlines, you will show them that you're committed to meeting them too. Number 4, Don't buy into victimhood. Manfred Ketz-de-Vries, Professor of Leadership Development and Organisational Change at the INSEAD Business School in France, described a victim mentality in his working paper, Are You a Victim or the Victim Syndrome? Professor Ketz-de-Vries found that someone with a victim mentality feels that they are beset by the world and are always at a disadvantage because of other people's machinations or lack of consideration. But it isn't just fate that causes a victim to experience more difficulties than other people. They may in fact seek out disappointment because it can give them a kick that psychologists call a secondary gain. This is when not resolving a problem can actually have benefits. A team member with a victim mentality can pose real problems for you and for the rest of your team. One of the problems of dealing with someone with a victim mentality is that they likely don't want any help and will react negatively to any attempts to change their behavior or mindset. As a leader, your job is to help your team members perform well in their roles. You're not expected to be a therapist, and your strategy must revolve around clear, effective performance metrics. If the victim continues to miss deadlines or targets, is continuously making mistakes, or their behavior becomes too damaging to the team's well-being or productivity, it may be necessary to performance manage them out. For instance, if performance or behavioral issues continue without any sign of improvement, issue a formal warning. You owe it to the rest of your team and to your business to act promptly and not to get involved in a long, drawn-out conflict. Number 5, stay cool and firm. Fear can be a short-term motivator, and there is no need to be a bully to succeed. You can still be respected by being firm, kind, and empathetic when helping people understand where they stand, including if their job is in jeopardy. Your employees will still sometimes mess up, but if you embrace your better angels, the number of mistakes will start to go down because those around you will want to do a better job for themselves, the team, and you. There is a difference between the occasional mistake and repeated mistakes, between minor mistakes and real serious ones, so don't blow out of proportion each category of mistake. Dealing with employee mistakes is one problem that every leader wants to avoid. Most times, it brings challenges that could take a long time to resolve, or even worse, may be irreversible. But it's a different case if the employee who is making mistakes has incredible potential. Your first line of action should always be to help the employee to overcome the challenges they have with the provided assignments. If you need help with your team, check out our coaching programs, ebooks, and ultimate HR package to help you build the best team you've ever worked with. Go and visit www.theleadicon.com.